Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included with a Hot Shots update. Starting off with the ability to take a pipsqueak, so I'm not going to say no to that. It's going to allow me to plant wild plants. I think I've got arbor tree seeds around. They don't need to be fed as long as they stay wild. But that's awesome. So what else has been going on? I've got insulation happening on the bottom part of my base. I'm going to add it to the top portion up here and get the liquid tempedizer going. Still no clue how to give this dupe some food. Select. Yeah, I know. You're just not... They must have the mailbox locked to prevent anything from going in. So I will wait for insulation. I'm going to add insulation along this wall, along here, and have that go all the way around. Need to think about food storage. I've got 34,000 calories barbecue meat. It's been up as high as 50 or so. So I want to have some food storage, and that should be pretty easy given the fact that I'm on a cold world. So I'll aim to do that, but let's do some insulation and warm the inside of the base first. The dupe over in this world is busy getting all the polluted water to go down in this area. So that's going to clear out area for me to be able to do some construction and all that. So oxygen level has been slowly depleting. It was at 1800 to, well, I guess 1800 here. We're still fine with that. 27,000 calories, they're fine for food. I think it's time to defrost this friend, though I'm going to save this before I do. Call this new dupe. And we'll have two dupes working away on this asteroid. So defrost friend. So we can mop up this area. Shouldn't take too long to charge that battery up. Once they do, they'll probably go, next priority should be defrost the friend. Okay, now I'll resave just in case I don't like this particular dupe. With probably just a negative trade or some interest that doesn't interest me. So they're going to put their hand on that. It's going to release a dupe. Devon. Let's check out Devon's trait. Already have yucky lungs or coughing from polluted oxygen. That makes sense. So they're interested only in ranching, and they're a mouth breather. I'm going to say no. Let's read. So here is my new dupe mop. You can guess the interest they have: tidying and supply. So it's going to be very useful in this particular asteroid at this time because there's going to be a lot of mopping up and tidying to do. But now I've got two dupes over there. And I wouldn't mind having an additional dupe over here once the printing pod has something available. Because I've got enough meat for it, and food, and lots of work to be done. So I was able to print hug slug eggs. I do have some eggs over here, but don't have teleportation set up. So what I decided I would do is I'm going to put a storage bin right here, put in those eggs, and then I'll empty them out of this container once they're in there. There they are. So they're going to sit there, ready to... Oh, you're not dropping them off there. Hold on. This is taking every egg. No, that's not... let's not do that. Let's specifically design this to specifically take the sage hatch and stone eggs and return that egg... critter eggs, slug. So I think one fell down there. They're bringing it back up. That's good. So that's going to allow me to produce a little bit more power at nighttime. So there's the two eggs. It'll take a while to hatch, but that's fine. No rush for that. Insulation is continuing to progress. Check on the other base. Really, their main job has just been clearing out. Careful about slime lung, but try and clear. Oh, we get an exposure to space tech. Well, maybe not actually, but want to be careful about that. I think I'll just block off that area. Technically, there's a liquid lock, but I can afford to ignore that whole area for the time being, so I'll do so. So let's have a check here. I've got a great hall. I have a latrine right now. Why don't we mop up around here? And if we have all this mopped up, I can get a pump in this area, and I can fill my washroom with water. Over on this asteroid, very nearly complete with insulation around the base. Here I've dug in a path to get access to this thing because I want to build a wall around it. Don't want that excess heat spilling into the base. Don't mind that in the other asteroid that's frozen, but this asteroid isn't in the same condition. So I'm going to make my way down here to get a nature reserve going. Build across here. 4, I can see I lost some plants in there. I've got 3 those plants plus mellow plants. So 4 of them, that's perfect. But I don't want that to flood. Be very careful not to allow. Oh, the dupes are stuck. Come on, dupes, you need to tell me that. There we are. They're going to be able to get out after that. We'll make their washroom accessible shortly here. Every now and then I'm going to check to see when it's safe to go in here. Currently, it is not. At 100 plus degrees, they're going to burn. Taking advantage of the fact that this geyser is not running at the very moment. It's still pretty warm in here. And I will carefully watch the dupes do this because, well, they're on break right now, but when they're back, I don't want them to, I'll cancel construction. Actually, maybe what I'll even do is build a door in front of this so it can direct them to get out and not build in here when this thing is going off. Insulation looks like it is complete. So now what I'll do is I'll work on the heavy watt wires. That's going to make its way around here, going towards liquid tempedizer. Oh, do not connect that, dupes. Do not do that. It's a bad plan. I'm going to need to have 2 crossing points. Put one here. Another one right here. So I will have a wire bridge crossing here and here. Heavy watt wire, let's be very careful this doesn't connect to the regular system. That's good so far. And it's going to go into liquid tempedizer. And I'll need a heavy watt joint plate to get out of the power room. Let's do that right here. Again, be very careful to connect this and not cross wires between the heavy watt wire and the smaller wire. Almost wish that wasn't something you were even allowed to do. If you're building a heavy watt wire, I wish it would kind of prevent you from doing that, mixing those two things. That would be a nice thing, because the only time I ever really want to have multiple wires is when you're sort of upgrading. Maybe that'd be the one exception. Anyway, whatever. Also love it if the game would tell you what to do with this mailbox, because I'm just guessing about some advanced research now. It'll do that in time. Whoa! So there's that door in place. Let's get you guys to not go in here. Let's get you out. Oh, both of you need to go out. Alright, good. Alright, so we haven't, no one has red face right now. Oh, but they have a bit of damage. You know what? Let's just preemptively build a triage cot for them, just in case they need it. So I've got power in the liquid tempedizer. I just need to control when it's on. I'm going to say if it's below 20 degrees, it can operate. See how that works out. And I can start the process of putting in a Red Bull generator. Do that right here. That's going to be lined up with a material study terminal. Destroy this tile, and I'll put in all the other pieces for that soon. Checking, I think it is 80 degrees here. going down. Let's see if we can get these dupes going quick before this thing goes off again. I can cap the amount of steam that's going into this world and the heat ultimately. So I'll stay around with these dupes. I'll be back. Oh, no, we're on break. Apparently not right now. Material study terminal is ready to go. I just need to plug that in. So heavy watt wire going into it. Should get a true signal on this. I am. That will start operating once the dupes put in some material here, uranium ore in either of those. And I see one dupe on the way. Mold dropping stuff off. I realize I forgot yet again to check the status of this. I don't want to have the dupes go in there right now. Let's avoid that. And I'll be back on that one. How are they doing with the washroom? I see they got water going in. They just don't have ability to handle water going out. Oh, there's... Hold on. Someone's scalding. Is that you going into... We've gotten past the door. Okay, you go on the other side of the door. Get out of there. Get. Don't wipe your eyes. Get out of there. And I realized I didn't save enough room for a nature reserve. So I'm going to have to haul everything over by 2. So do that. Let's just check on... there, we got radiation being generated. Producing some material research. And let's research the gas range. I'm wondering if just simply having that or building a kitchen will allow me to select something for that mailbox. No idea at this point, but I will find out. So having some polluted water be sent from the washrooms to down here. And this is going to be what I'm going to use to take the warmer temperature that I'm generating down here with this liquid temporizer to go around the base. Probably one of the first things I'm going to aim to do is go around the bluff bear, which is too cold to be able to grow, so I no longer have a Great Hall until I restore that. It's a bit of good news. I got Jumping Joya, which can grow at 0 degrees to 100. So that is allowed me to get a Great Hall back again. And the dupes are just now installing this line that's going to go through. So I've got some radiant pipe going through this area here to take on heat. And just regular pipe. And that's going to continually cycle through all the base. Just meaning maintaining the core of the base to be at a decent temperature, which it is well below that at the moment. So now I've got polluted water going all the way through the base. Starting in this area, going through some radiant pipes, taking out a bit of the heat with it. And that's going to visit the entire area of the base. Going through all the different tiles, it's going to interact with temperature a little bit more there. Just regular piping, no radiant, because I've got this Jumping Joya here. I was going to put some radiant plant to make the Brer seed happy, but I don't need to do that. I think it's time I can accept a new dupe. I don't know if I like any of these particular ones. I may go get a reload. I want someone who has strong rocketing skills with other general skills or interests around the base. But anyway, this should have a slow warming effect on the core of the base, taking it from about 0 degrees or so freezing point to hopefully around 20 degrees. So it should start to look a little bit more green and blue over time. Over in Slopbora, things are still a mess, so I'm aiming to improve the air quality of the space. I have a nature reserve set up over here at Great Hall. No, I do not. I have to make that a Great Hall. I can do that pretty easily. Use the special pot again. Place that right there, but I'll have a Great Hall soon enough. I'll make sure that I've got these ladders here and here so that the dupes actually access the nature reserve as they go in and out of these buildings. Put in one of these. So they've got a place to use the washroom, shower. This is a funny looking room, but let me just make that flat. Now that I have all of this, see they can't access this area with the little ladder to get up there.
But now that I have all this, that's pretty much their living area. This is going to maintain their morale. I can now start to actually explore what's around this asteroid and get some resources, such as this sleet wheat and pinch of peppers. So I had a bunch of fridges installed down here. I'm not going to power them up. I'm going to do cooling first with this here, a thermo regulator. So that's going to need some power. I'm going to use hydrogen to go in and out of there, best material or gas for temperature exchange. So it's pretty much just going to go in and out of this machine. I will actually, don't have anything that shuts it off, don't want it to run forever. That's not the idea. Let's put a temperature gauge maybe here at the back. Get rid of, maybe we'll keep the fridge, get rid of this last tile. And that's going to be the logic that determines whether this thing is on or not. Let's connect that over there. So that's going to take the temperature. We're going to aim for, let's say, minus 30 degrees. At least we'll start with that. I'm going to need hydrogen brought in. Got lots of hydrogen here, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Now I'll start to populate this machine. That'll just run in a cycle. Got a bunch of pacus as a gift, so making sure that they can find some water. So the dupes can get rid of some of these tiles. I'll rebuild them so this becomes rooms once again. That might be actually important for producing one of the specialty foods that this guy wants to eat. See if now maybe my pacus will start making their way towards the water. Can they get through this? Maybe they can't. Destroy this tile there and they'll make it their way down. Here we go. I've got some pacus in the water. So that's going to lead to more food. Make sure that I create tiles once again to restore these rooms that I destroyed. Just checking this out. Looks like I might as well start storing some food in here. So we'll put barbecue meat. Currently that's not nearly cold enough, but that will change. I'm going to set this if it's above minus 30 degrees, then this can run. And we'll just wait for the hydrogen to be loaded, to have that ready. So now I have hydrogen loaded or being loaded into this system. And I can immediately see power is going to be an issue. I could either build a second transformer and have wiring go out, or I can bring heavy wire over. Could also locate this in a different location, maybe down here where I already have the heavy wire. I think for the time being, it might be time to put in another transformer. Put that in right here. And we'll split this circuit, maybe have like an upper and lower system, split it right there. Connect this once this little bit of construction is done. That's going to be working towards lowering the temperature over here. It's going to have a warming effect over here, but given the fact it's currently 0 degrees, not concerned about that over the short term. So build a glass forge. I can now produce glass. Obviously that is being connected with the heavy wire system. Start off producing 99 pieces of that. That's going to allow me to build some solar panels on top of the base soon enough. Watch as the first pieces go out. It's going to go out as very hot liquid. It's going to land here in a cold area, and that is where it'll actually turn to ice. Or not ice, it'll turn to glass. So it should have a little bit of glass located somewhere here. There it is, glass, 25K. And more on the way. One of the resources I don't have yet is thimbleweed seed. Well, I have the seed, but I don't have a lot of thimbleweed itself. So I'm going to grow some over here. We've got lots of polluted water. That's one of the inputs. Needs to be in a warm area. It's 23 degrees. So I'm thinking it should be fine. If I recall, I think it's 22 degrees. Those have to grow, so not super great. But there's 32 around it, 23 on this side. I think it'll be okay. I can always move it if the temperature doesn't maintain itself. Be decent point it over there. Let's go back in the main base. Here, I'm starting to explore some of the, getting access to this teleportation equipment and explore to see what some of the other geysers are. This is a cool slush geyser. Okay, let's dig that out. Because I am starting to run a little bit low on water. Still lots of ice, so I can still convert more to it, but I need to find a source for new liquid water so that we can survive long term in this base. Let's have a quick check of the temperature. Starting to warm up in the main base area. So we built these gas mask stations here because as the dupes go up, there's a lot of hydrogen for them to work through. I'm also going to be getting them to go out in space because we're going to install some solar panels and bring back some of the power of the sun back into the base. So they'll be able to go out and escape and explore that. It's also going to allow them to build some rockets. Let's check temperature here. We're now at minus 31, 32 degrees. It's cold enough to actually cool food. It takes a little bit of time, but yeah, I've got barbecue meat here. That is changing at 0% per cycle, meaning it's going to last forever. So that's really good. And I've got to build up a barbecue meat on 100,000 calories of that. So that's starting to look really healthy with in terms of the food for the dupes. I see that plug slugs have been born. They're producing power during the nighttime period. That's a nice thing. So we'll just keep digging up, putting in some solar panels in this space over here. Starting to run out of things to do. I'm initially just exploring the various ends of the bases. See if there's any resources I want to take back. I do have to send scientists, or the one that I think brains, to actually activate these two machines. Maybe I'll do that soon. Speaking of which, I think they're on the regular morning schedule, so I'll do that now even. So where is the teleportation equipment? That's at the bottom of the base. Let's click on brains. Where are you, brains? I'm going to teleport to the other world. When they're over there, I'm going to make sure to indicate that I want to activate the two teleportation machines. So here's this one, activate. The other one is over here, activate that one. Go back, hopefully brains is in there, or on their way anyway. Could be wearing a gas mask, I can unequip that. So we can do the teleportation now. So brains has arrived. They have the skill set to actually activate these machines. This one is just about giving it a high five. Just takes a little bit of time. Just keep holding your hand there, brains. Okay, and then the other one, I think they just have to wipe the glass on the side. Apparently it's dirty, and they do enough swiping. Or maybe there's a little cursor thing. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. They're activating that. And then I can get the dupes to start loading stuff into this. That's going to need some power if I want that to work. So let's connect that. And when that's activated, scientists can leave. So this is now actually the first time I'm going to be doing a teleportation from this end. So brains will go in, go back home. Remembering to hit the teleportation, or else they get stuck and don't have access to food. Where are we? Okay, there we are. So Brains is now back. I can actually activate the teleportation equipment that's over here. Just noticing that I've got a hydrogen vent that's in my disposal. I can see the sonarium synthesizer. And I don't have access to this yet. I'll hit activate for when I do. And there should be one more teleportation equipment somewhere around here. Here it is. I'll get Brains to activate that. So now I've made it to the top of the base. I'm going to have some solar panels installed. I've got a separate circuit, so what I'm going to do is going to take this circuit that has the solar panels, make its way down to the power room, and I've got a transformer sending power into it. So I don't have to have a heavy wire that goes all the way from the power room to the solar panels. I'll have to limit how many solar panels I have, but just having a few to start off with will at least improve the current situation, which actually is pretty good because I still have lots of hydrogen to burn. I've got that thing tuned up, the hydrogen generator. Other than that, the base itself is warming up more. It's looking a little more green instead of blue. And I'll be able to continue to run that liquid temperizer, especially once I get the solar panels. I've dumped some snow and ice here. It's going to take a bit to melt. That'll produce a little bit more water. Still looking for some geysers. Let's see, I found infectious polluted water. Gotta make my way to the teleport unit. Check on the other asteroid. Pretty much just exploring stuff over here. Getting to every corner of this asteroid. So if I want to get access to any resources, I have the ability to do that. Gone in here, I found some cool vests, warm vests. Lots of sleep wheat I can take back. And I'm preparing to get to the top of this base as well so I can put solar panels up here in time. So now I have 3 solar panels at the top. I see that nearly getting 300 watts during midday for each. So with 3 of them, that's going to keep it under 1,000, which is what I need to make that circuit happy. So I'm not going to add any more than 3, but that's just going to provide a little bit of power from that means. And I think it's time to get a kitchen in here, because that's the reason that I can't put any food within this mailbox, at least from the comments from some of the other players that have played this before and tried to work through this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my kitchen here. Might as well do that because this is where I'm storing my food, and where I'll initially or eventually be storing ingredients as well. And actually, speaking of food, let's look. Now we're at 200,000 calories of barbecue meat. So building up a bit of a surplus of high quality food. Not high enough quality to put it in for this dupe, but the rest of the dupe's morale bonus is being improved because of the barbecue meat. So I now have a kitchen, and I'm going to use the gas range to produce better foods that this dupe over here will accept in their mailbox. So in order to do that, I'm going to need some natural gas. I do have a natural gas geyser right here. I think I'll actually connect that in the next episode. But the other thing that I've got to do is actually get some more unique ingredients and grow other things that could actually be cooked within the gas range itself. So I'll be doing that in the next episode along with various other things. But in this episode, I have a storage place for my barbecue meat. It's not enough quality for this dupe apparently, but the dupes here like it, and I have 200,000 calories of that, and that's growing, so that's really good. I've got a spot to store that. Now I have a place to cook better quality food with gas range, but actually do the cooking in the next episode. It's getting warmer, so now I have a lot much more green areas instead of blue areas. It's going to continue to grow. Oh, someone is suffocating. Hold on. Just yeah, you can make it just one more piece of tile. Since we're up here, I now am producing power with solar panels, and I've got a small circuitry going to the power room for that. As well, I've got a ladder and a fire pole that goes all the way up and down. Maybe I'll just add a little bit more of a fire pole down here before I forget. Next episode, I'll probably be down here getting access to some oil. Also, a material study terminal and researches various things in that, including the solar panels. But not a lot of progress has been made over here, but I do have the setup to be able to actually produce food. So we'll continue that and get some more specialty ingredients. Speaking of which, that's the reason I went over to this asteroid, so I can get some more specialty things. And here I've got a better living area, so I've got a barracks, a great hall, nature reserve, and I've started exploring all different areas. I think the only thing that's left on that aspect is I still don't actually have access to the solar panels, or the teleporter equipment. And I can see why. I think I'll up the priority of these. The gas masks aren't being filled up, so maybe I'll produce, just before I completely finish off for now, I'll produce a few more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should be good. Well, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next episode where I'll get my hands on some natural gas and some more unique stuff, and hopefully grow some, or cook some stuff in the gas range that can finally send over to the shipping container where a hermit is still hiding out, not wanting to join our base just yet. Until then,